How's it going, guys? Andy here and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to be talking about DHgate and the #1 mistake that most people make when buying on this platform. I'm making this little 2019 update because a few years ago I made a video about DHgate and 426,000 of you watched that video. And a further 10,000 people watch it every single month. So I guess it's a subject that you guys want to hear about. So I thought I would do a 2019 update. I've got some new stuff that you need to know. I want to tell you how to stay safe when buying on DHgate. I've got the latest information on how to return your item or how to get a refund from DHgate if your item doesn't arrive at all. That's all coming up, but hang around to the end because I want to give you the #1 mistake that most people make when buying on DHgate. But for now, I want to quickly answer the original question: can I trust DHgate? DHgate is a trading platform just like Amazon, but unlike Amazon, they don't sell their own stock. They host the platform and third-party sellers sell the actual items. Now here's where it gets tricky because some of these third-party sellers will be fine and trustworthy and get your orders out to you with no problems at all. But some may not be so trustworthy, and some of these sellers might give you some trouble, not want to refund you if there's any problem, keep your money and not send anything to you at all. Hence why there were hundreds if not thousands of comments under my last video stating that they lost their money and didn't get their item, etc. Personally, I think that DHgate have had a problem with this in the past, and they could have done much more to weed out these bad sellers and remove them from the website altogether. That said, I think they have been working hard to improve this, and they do now have a set returns and refund procedure that you can go through if you have any trouble with the seller, you don't receive your item, or it's not as expected. So there have been a lot more improvements, and I'll be going through that process very shortly. But ultimately, if you want a seamless next day buying experience with 100% ironclad returns policy, I suggest you just go and buy on Amazon. It's not the place for you. Links down below will show you just exactly what I mean. But if you want to get the cheapest deals and you're prepared to do a bit of work, then here are my top tips for staying safe on DHgate. Make sure you read the buyer reviews and feedback. Just like Amazon, they have a feedback rating and a percentage so you can see who are the better sellers and who are not. Get in touch with those sellers, ask them questions. Make sure what is pictured is the item that you will actually receive. As in the past, some sellers have just used stock photos that they've taken off the internet. If you're dealing with a seller for the first time, don't make a large order. If you're not 100% sure about them, maybe make a small order so you can test the quality of the actual item you're going to receive and make sure it turns up in the first place. If that's all good and you're happy, then maybe you can make a bigger order afterwards. My next tip is don't expect a fast delivery. Your items are coming from China and it's going to be slow delivery. Unless you opt for a specifically fast courier delivery, it's going to be at least a week to 10 days, if not a little bit longer. So don't panic if nothing arrives within a few days. It's very unlikely to do so anyway. Unless you pay extra, it's going to come via a donkey, and there are many mountains between you and your fake Yeezys. So let's talk about the DHgate buyer protection and their refund procedure. As you can see here, DHgate now commit to the fact that if you never receive your item, they will refund the item for you. And if the item is not as described, you can accept a partial refund and keep the item, or you can return the item for a full refund. Now this all happens via a set procedure, and this is what you need to do. #1 is to contact the seller. If you've not received your order on time or the order is not as described, please contact the seller. If you don't get any joy from the seller, the second step is to open a dispute, and that lets the seller know you are not happy. If you still don't get any joy from the dispute or you're not happy with the proposed solution, you can request a DHgate mediation. DHgate will arbitrate on your behalf in between you and the seller and make the decision whether you should get a refund or not. Now this all seems like a much clearer and a much safer procedure that DHgate have now put in place, which should solve a lot of the issues of the seller just never getting back to you. So it does seem a lot more organized, and I think there will be a lot less people that are left with no contact and no money. But let me know if you've gone through this DHgate dispute resolution process, and let me know how you found this mediation and whether you got your money back. Is it easier now? How long does it take? Did you get your refund? And are you now confident with the DHgate returns policy? Let me know down in the comments. I'd be very interested to hear an updated view on this. But by all accounts, this looks like a much better setup from DHgate, and it's good to see them doing more to protect buyer safety. Alrighty, so that brings me on to my biggest mistake that most people make when buying from DHgate, and the most important thing to remember: everything is fake, yo. So many people buy branded gear on DHgate and are disappointed when it turns up and the night tick is upside down. If you want to buy fake football jerseys because they're $24 and not $150 like in the shops, I'm not going to judge you. If you want to rock a pair of Yeezys straight out of Shenzhen province, then you go right ahead. I don't care. But just remember, it's all fake. And I mean all of it. No ifs, no buts. If the seller tells you it's real, it's not. If he tells you it's out the back door of the Night Factory, it ain't. If he tells you his uncle works for Adidas, he doesn't. If the photo is identical, that's probably because he nicked the photo from the website. If you're buying non-branded products, then it is what it is. All good. If it has a well-known brand name on it, you can be 100% comfortable in the knowledge that it's not real. And in most Western countries, it's illegal to bring counterfeit items into the country. So for the purpose of this video, just so you know, you need to be very careful when buying branded products from China. I've dealt with wholesale products and distributors for over 10 years, and I know how the supply chain works. If there is a factory making branded products, it's usually run by the brand owner. And if it isn't, security is airtight. They can't risk a few products going out the door because they'll potentially lose that multi-million-dollar contract. All the staff are usually searched and bag checked in places like this, and for the same reason, they wouldn't risk their job for the sake of a quick buck on the side. It just doesn't happen. The only way you'll get hold of new branded products is through the official supply chain or via an appointed liquidation agent. And if you're interested in how that works, I can go into that on another video. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, that's it for this one. Give me a thumbs up if you found this useful. I have a few more videos on the subject of DHgate coming up in the next few weeks, so be sure to subscribe to see those and hit that bell notification icon to get alerted every time I post a new video. Alrighty guys, thank you very much for watching. My name's Andy Lawrence and I will catch you on the very next video. Bye for now.